Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my first video. Um, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do two things in this video. First, I'm gonna install or configure FTP server, and then I'm gonna tell you how to set up a YUM repository with that. I just have a few notes here for myself. Um, I have a machine here running within a virtual box. It's basically Red Hat 7. So let's start. So what do we need basically? Um, we need we have to have a YUM repository somehow. So what I have here is I'll show you. Alright, so you see here that I have a CD mounted on my /media file, and that's basically a Red Hat CD. So if I go here /media, you will see all these different files within that CD. So I already have a CD mounted. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install a package with the help of YUM that I need for FTP server. That package is VSFTPD. It's just gonna take a minute here. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go into the directory cd/var/ftp. Now you know /var/ftp is the default directory for FTP server, right? So whatever you put, you put in this directory. I mean, it could be changed. However, I'm just gonna use the default one right now. I'm not gonna go into that much detail. I already have made a directory pub inside that folder, and then there is another directory RHEL7. So that's where I am right now. cd/var/ftp/pub/RHEL7. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy my Red Hat CD content into this folder. So where my content is, they just showed you it's under media file, and then I'm just gonna copy where right here. So that's what period means, that I'm just gonna copy all the stuff from /media directory to this very directory where I am right now, which is RHEL7. So I'm just gonna copy that. It's just gonna take a minute. It's 3.5 GB of data, so bear with me for a moment. It's just taking some time. All right. There you go. So it's done. The wait is over. All right. So we all are, all the content of Red Hat CD is present in this folder now, right? So this is what we needed. This is one thing. We have already installed VSFTPD package from the repository that I have already in my system. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use firewall-cmd command. Now what is it? It's basically In new edition in Red Hat 7, in Red Hat 6 and the versions before, we used to use IP tables. IP tables are still present in Red Hat 7. However, Firewall D is an alternative to that, and the context of it is much easier. It's easier to learn. That's why I'm gonna use this. And probably, you never know, after a few variants or after a few updates in Red Hat 7, they might remove IP tables, so it's better to learn the new thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a port, right? I have to add a port for FTP servers so outside traffic could get in. So like, I have to open the door for the house so people could get in. So similarly, I have to open the door for outsiders to get into my server. So this is what I'm gonna do right now. So firewall dash CMD. First, I'm just gonna see like what ports are already opened. So just want to make sure. List dash services. Alright, so you see here that we have LDAP, NFS, SSH, DHCP, all these ports are open. So FTP is not part of that, so of course we have to add that, and we have to do it permanently. So I have to write dash dash permanent, and then add dash service FTP. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write another command here, so I don't have to do it in next line. I'm just gonna reload it. So the benefit of the second command of firewall-cmd minus minus reload is basically I don't have to restart my system, and it's just easier way of applying the settings right away. Alright, so let's check the services again, and I have FTP now. Alright, so I have to start the service now. Now in previous versions, again, you used to use service command, but in Red Hat 7 we have systemctl. Service command is still there, like IP tables are there, but it will redirect your command to system control, which will take a second or two more. So it's better to use system control straight. So I'm just gonna start the service. So I'm just gonna enable it, so it will start at the boot, like check config and in previous versions. So we just use system control for that, and I'm just gonna check the status. Alright, so it's active and running. So our FTP server should be up now, so we can check that. So I have already given my link here, so FTP 192. This is my IP address, and then that's where all the stuff is present. You see all those folders from here. So present working directory is var ftp pub RHEL7. All these folders, I can actually access them from my browser, right? This is the beauty of FTP server. Alright, so FTP server is up and running. To set up a yum repository. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go into etc directory and then yum.repos.t. I'm just gonna tab. So I already have this one repository. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna disable this. So instead of this one, I'm just gonna put 0 and it will disable it. I'll create a new file. So that repository will basically try to get the content from my FTP server. So remember, this FTP server could be on a different computer, it could be I'm sitting in Canada, this FTP server could be in States and I can still access it, right? I'm just using one machine for now just to explain, but I mean, just letting you know that, how beneficial it could be. So I'm just gonna create this file, insert mode, bracket. So this is how you create basically a repository. It's very, very, very simple. So I'm just gonna give the IP address and then the path, to where the files are present or the files that I need to access. Um, you might be wondering why I'm not using the complete path, which is /var/ftp/pubs. Now, I explained that earlier in the video that the default directory for /var/ftp is basically, /var/ftp is the default directory. My apologies. So I mean, system already knows if I am giving a FTP IP address. Linux is smart enough to know that what folder they have to access, and under that folder, this is the path. Then I have to enable it, and then gpg check. So I'm just gonna leave it 0. Okay. Alright, so I just made a mistake here. So this is base URL and name is FTP repo. There shouldn't be any space here, guys, otherwise you'll get an error. Alright, so I'll show you the file that I just created. So here it is. You can see I enabled it. After that, we'll do yum clean all. This will clear the cache for yum, and then yum repo list. So this will tell you if there is any repository present and it's working. So you see the repo ID is FTP repo. This is the name that we put in the bracket here, and then here's the name, which is right here, and then it tells you the status. So status shows that there are 4,305 packages available. So for example, if I wanted to install a package now, I can do that from this remote repository. So for example, I wanted to install Nano. Now I'm not sure if Nano is already installed, but let's see. Look, it tells you Nano is already installed, but nonetheless, this is how you create FTP server, and with the help of that you create a yum repository. Now just a couple of things that I want to explain here. So for example, in RHCS exam, if they tell you to set up a repository, it could be an HTTP repository, right? So all you need to do is you need to change FTP to HTTP, right? And then the IP address or the name of the server and the path to the directory where the packages are sitting. Similarly, for a local repository, I'll show you. I already have a local repository on my system, right? I showed you before as well. So here, so for a local repository, you just enter the local URL, right? And also over here, so for example, if I used firewall-cmd command here, so I did a service FTP. So system is smart enough to know that FTP uses port 21. So if we wanted to add like a different port, and in place of 21, we can do that as well. So I'll just give you a quick example here. So add, I'll tab and it will give me the option. So look, add port. So I can use this option to add like anything other than 21 for FTP, right? Or this is just a general concept, right? But in this case, I knew that I'm just gonna use 21, so I just added a service. So system knows that um, it is port 21. All right. uh, so that's it for today. If you liked the video, please comment. If you didn't like it, still comment, let me know like how can I make it better. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.